What's going on YouTube? AJTBLS here, coming to you with a Edison video covering how I achieved some sort of success from relatively scratch as I played a completely new deck. To me, I was more of a hero player in about 30 days or so. So a little bit of a recap. YCS Indie took place on June 1st. I was practicing for the YCS Indie, wanting to achieve some sort of success because I've definitely played Edison before. I'm not coming into it as a newbie, but I was always like a hero beat player, and there was just only so much that I could accomplish with a deck. And it kind of reminded me of myself when I played GOATs, where I only played Warrior, and you kind of reach a cap of where you can succeed. However, I feel like the cap in Edison is just, or the ceiling for heroes is much lower than the ceilings for warriors, because in GOATs you have these great players like LeBounty and other warrior guys who consistently win with warriors, whereas Hero Beat, I could be mistaken, I don't think Hero Beat specifically has won a major event ever. I was just looking at the data, and let's say it's middle of May now, practicing, let's say like May 15th area, I have to learn something better. So I'm scrambling, I'm talking to the guys in Rhino server and even in Bongo Boys server, and I just decided to try Blackwing. And I said, you know what, no matter what, I'm playing Blackwing at this event, I'm going to run this deck. It seems similar to Chaos Turbo in the fact that, you know, it has multiple elements of plays, there's more ways of getting +1s, and it still reminded me of Warriors as well too, because, you know, it is an aggro type deck. I came up with this list here. It's nothing special. The only kind of tech card in it is the main deck Devi. I think this card is just nuts and broken, and shout out to Ghost Rider in his video for Edison trap cards. He actually put this thing at S tier. His video wasn't released at the time of, you know, the YCS, but I think this card is just naturally pretty broken. I decided to main it, and everything else is pretty generic here. I'm not going to go in too much to it because it's just a generic Blackwing deck. So weeks go on, I'm playing and practicing, and I'm just on this account name AJT Dad, which is kind of funny, AJT Dark Iron Dragon, haha. Yeah, I decided to start playing on it, and I started off pretty hot. I think I won, like, I don't know, maybe like 8 in a row to start, and then going back and forth, and we ultimately playing only on this account, practicing for the YCS. So I go to the YCS, and I actually go undefeated during Swiss, which was kind of a surprise to me. I had a really good match against Dimitri, where I did a really cool play against Light and Darkness Dragon, where I had a Black Whirlwind up. I summoned Blizzard, Chainlink 1 Blizzard, Chainlink 2 Whirlwind, and it's going to work because Light and Darkness Dragon can't negate that. So with that specific chain, make Brio, pitch the Vayu, and then over and over negate, and then I was going to go to battle phase and attack, but the judge said that, you know, we're in time now and it's end of phase, so we ended up in a draw, and then I get paired in round 1 Swiss versus Oscar. Oscar himself has a YouTube channel, excellent player, better at Edison than me, no comparison right now at this time at least, and he beat me, and I was humbled, and I was sent home, so I got a top 8 at the YCS Indie, and Oscar went on to lose in the finals against Fraser Smith, who's another Edison player who's, you know, a phenom in this format. I feel like he's probably the guy to beat in this format right now, and he took down the YCS. So congratulations to both those guys, and I was just happy to get in the top cut. And to me, I came to this format and I was like, coming from nothing on Blackwings, I was like, this deck is very powerful. If I get better with this deck and just stick with it, I might be able to accomplish something. So that's where my headspace is at currently, and I'll show you what I've done in the last, I'll say about 30 days or so practicing Blackwing. The account was made on May 24th, but I did play a little bit offline with Blackwing before, like on a different account before I made this account. So I came into this account with some Blackwing knowledge. This was like the actual like dedicated, okay, I'm going to grind the ranked ladder with it. With the ranked ladder, I only played Blackwing in this account. Currently, I have 200 matches completed, and we are sitting at rank 5. So 146 wins, 54 losses. I think that win rate works out to 73%. So pretty good. Very, very happy with that accomplishment. I am going to try to go for rank 1, but I know these players over here, very tough. I'm not going to reveal whose alts these are. I know every single one of these people though. Yotamine is not, I think I pronounced that right, is not an alt. And funny story, actually, all of my Blackwing decks and all of my accounts are actually have his name in it because they're on Format Library. I just downloaded his list because I know he's very successful with Blackwings, so player that I look up to as well. So we've been doing very well with Blackwings, and that's probably where I'm going to be focusing my talents on for Edison going forward. It's very clear to me that Konami has selected Edison to be its premier Time Wizard event, so as a competitor, it interests me to get in the game of where everybody's playing, where the competition's stiff, and I'm not saying I'm done with GOATs by any means. GOATs is still definitely my best format, and I do enjoy GOATs more than Edison. For the time being, I'm going to continue on the Edison train, and we're going to go over just one replay today from the top 200, and I feel like I did pretty well in this. So let's go ahead and start. So this match on the ladder happened yesterday. So we lose rock, paper, scissors. Opponent goes first, and they T-set and pass. We use a lure. I think the banish here is probably just Vayu. Yeah. And from watching the top players' replays in this spot, while it's certainly tempting to summon the Shura and try to beat over this card, what I've learned in Edison is when they're T-setting and you take a look at, like, you know, the big three decks, right? So Frogs, Vayu Turbo, and Blackwings, if they're T-setting, what exactly are they T-setting? This guy is not a chump. You know, he has a decent ranking and been around the block. He's played quite a bit of Edison on this account, at least. I'm thinking to myself, this card is either Hamster or Raikou. I don't really want to lose my Shura. Like, what am I going to be killing? It's probably just not going to go through. So I decide to set Torrential and Legacy and just pass, both of which are chainable to a Raikou, and I can flip to Torrential when needed. So he uses Upstart. He flips this Rhinoceros guy, shout out to Team Rhino, and goes to attack me. So I just take the damage because I know what's about to come. He's going to bring out the Bestiari. Just think for a second here. Had like a little bit of a fog here. I was like thinking to myself, like, if he targets Torrential, I could definitely still chain it. So I just wanted to confirm that. And he targets my Torrential, I chain it, and then he summons out Laquari and sets a card and passes. So now I know he's on Gladiator Beast, obviously. Here I bring out the Shura, and this is just to kind of force a response and go to attack the card is my idea. He's thinking about it. I go to attack, because eventually we're going to have to get through these back rows anyways. He does prison it, and I'm good with it. And I just set 2 and pass. Still holding the set Garasu, because I have a play in mind for the future. I use prison here. No reason to take it, because I'd have to use one of my cards in response to what he's probably going to grab. And in this summon, I could bottomless it, but I decide not to, because my big payoff is going to be that both these cards are chainable. If I could get him to bring out the fusion monster that targets 2 and pops them, I could get a plus. So that's my whole gimmick. We top Heavy Storm. I don't use it, I don't think. There's no reason. I need my trap still. So just summon, try to crash, get a response, and pass turn. He attacks, I take the damage, and then now this will take back Bestiari, misclicking there. And I'm not saying I baited him to do this play because he easily could have just did something else, but I had a feeling that this is what probably was going to happen. And then we finally get what we want as we have the chain. And then now our Heavy Storm just going to pay dividends. And then this one's basically a wrap, as I have 3 cards to his drawing into 2, and he's about to take 28 from Yugioh. So I feel like a lot of the format so far has just been learning like what the threats are, and I feel like I played relatively well here. I'm sure I could have done things a little bit better, but generally speaking, I think played this game pretty well. I end phase Legacy there just in case, you know, trap stun or decree. Unfortunately, have to Mirror Force here. Set bottomless. I think you bring out the Bora and just punch. It's good to go. Sets a card and passes. Same play. Playing around Trap Dust Shoot a bit by setting a card. We draw Dad. Tribute. It's good. And then bring out the Dad. And then he just scoops. Okay, so he's going first again. Sets 2. So what I've noticed also in Blackwing is that people side Starlight Road, obviously. It's quite an annoying card for my Icarus because of how they could bring out Stardust Dragon, and that's going to be an annoying card to bring out, and it'll be a huge nag, etc. So Icarus becomes less valuable in these type of matchups, especially when you know they probably have Road. So Gladiator Beast is something that I think they usually have Road. I agree with my discard of Kalu here. Go to attack, gets met with Prison, that's fine. And I set both Mirror and Torrential. And here I just realized, like, hey, I'm probably just going to lose if he has Road anyways. So he uses Trap Stun, and then this is just like kind of a wrap. So we'll just fast forward through this game, as this one's going to be unwinnable. Yeah, and I go for like one final play with that end up scooping because I realized this is still over. So we're going first, going in game 3. We have a decent hand, just set the oppression and pass. Oppression I found is to be really good because they go to attack and then you just take the damage and then you oppression once they send it back to the deck to tag. So like oppression would have been the nut there. So when he does this, I realized that he likely has Road or Solemn, so Heavy Storm is not playable in this spot. And we kind of have a miserable hand, but we need to start working through this back row, just trying to trade off our cards. So we actually decided to go with the Shura. It's fine. I feel like Sirocco probably would have been better because we're kind of bluffing that we have Kalu or a way to get over this. I think Sirocco would have been better because we need this in the graveyard for our Blizzard, but live and learn. We set bottomless, we do bottomless it, and we take the 21. On this play here, I think that we summon Sirocco. He's thinking about it. So again, we're kind of selling that story. We got Kalu, and he solemns it. So when he solemns this, I know right away that this card is not a way that can answer an attack or a summon. So it's either going to be Starlight Road, My Body as a Shield, Trap Stun, some of that. And then now we just set President Pass. When he summons, I'm now confirmed that this card is Road because if this is his Solemn's gone, right? If this was Torrential, he's just going to lose the game. So, or Mirror. So I got to take the 18, and then we'll prison the 2100 Macquarie. And then he brings out the Hippopotamus. We draw Icarus, which is, again, a problematic draw because of the situation that we're in. This card likely being Road now. We're sticking with our story, like, hey, come challenge us. We've got a Kalu in hand. This is why we're normal summoning it. He special summons Test Tiger. So I'm very tempted at this point to Icarus and take out these 2 cards. But again, that would kind of change the story of, like, hey, I have Kalu in hand. If you want to come attack me, go ahead, because I'll just win the fight. So I can't Icarus it because I'm reading that this is Road. So let's just go ahead and continue. And he decides to bring out the 800 guy that kills my monster, which was I was kind of hoping that he would do. It's obviously good. I have a set Road that I can't use. And this can't attack now. And now we have a interesting spot. We draw a Bora, which is kind of irrelevant, but we have a good play here. So pause the video and see if you can see it. And again, we're reading that this card is Road. Okay, welcome back. So we're going to summon Blizzard here. Just take out Vayu. Wait for a response. Special summon Bora. And then now I think the play is quite clear. You use Icarus. Take out using your Vayu for cost. And targets will be my Blizzard and this new card. Because again, we're really sold that this card is Road. I even say 99% sure you have Road. And targets will be and my Blizzard. And then now we bring out Dad, and this is just a wrap. So I feel like we played that one pretty well. Throughout the 200 matches, this was probably one of my harder situations that I came back from. Again, Starlight Road is a very good card against this deck. I found at the YCS, I got pretty fortunate that I didn't really run into Road very often. Either they didn't draw it or didn't side it, but it didn't come up. But I've learned on the ladder that very quickly that Road is something you got to take in consideration. I feel like we played this one really well, and I've been enjoying Edison format more. I've looked forward to getting better at the format and hopefully becoming, a top-tier Edison player. I'm not where I need to be yet, but shout-outs to the Rhino Boys and Team Bongo for help training me with Blackwings, especially Marcus Carice, very good player. He's been playing against me, Blackwingers, and the different stuff before the YCS, just getting me kind of trained where I needed to be. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to make more Edison content in the future.